What's going on, everybody? This is the Space and Rocket Review for Monday, November 18th, 2024. Space and Rocket Review. You two girls, tell your friends. Space and Rocket Review. One night only. Monday through Friday. What's going on, everybody? All right, we got loud and clear over on the YouTube side of things. How are we doing over on the Twitch side of things? Everybody good? Everybody good? 5 by 5. Excellent. 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 With just, well, less than 24 hours looming here till the Starship Flight 6 launch, I figure, you know, SpaceX posted a video, a hype video, so, you know, let's just start off space news with that.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
FTS go. Props go. ABI.
ABI's go.
GNC.
GNC go.
Good.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
dude. This is all the good stuff. This is all the good stuff, dude. Ooh, there's a lot. Hey, I saw that monster truck go. Damn. There's a lot of good stuff. BA, what's going on? Good start to a new week of space flight with you. Likewise, sir. Likewise. Damn, dude. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Like, where do we start? Oh, man. They got crew missions in here. They got commercial missions in there. They got Dragon. We got Falcon. We got Falcon Heavy. Yeah, I've seen that space button. Geek. It's a pretty good button, right? Yeah. I've pushed the equivalent to that button on the mobile launcher. Oh, yeah. Pretty cool, huh? Nice flannel, by the way. Oh, thank you. I grew it myself. No. Thanks. It's starting to get a little cold. But, yeah, there we go. Oh, man. There's some really nice footage in here, dudes. That's Vandenberg. So Vandenberg there's a lot of mountains near Vandenberg, and one of the mountains usually is above the marine layers, so you get these crazy shots of Falcon 9 looking like it's coming out of cloud cover. Well, because it is, but Falcon Heavy, Starship, Falcon 9, rendezvous maneuver, hot staging, boosters landing, 2 boosters landing, super heavy. Oh, dude, that's still cool. Hopefully we get to see this again tomorrow. People setting up Starlink, Cybertruck. Yep. You want to know how they release Starlink satellites? They spin the second stage around and just let the Starlinks go. That's what this shot is, which is super cool. That was Falcon Heavy demo flight. That's Polaris Dawn. Polaris Dawn again. So, good stuff in here. That right there is OLM's spin start. These are the pneumatic systems here for starting the outer 20 Raptors. Right there. They were doing a test to make sure that they all work, and that's make sure that the ground side spin start mechanism works correctly. And there you go. That is actually redesigned on Pad B. This system isn't like this anymore. They're using one umbilical that feeds into a manifold in the booster that goes to 20 of the engines. Big plumbing change for Pad A and B. These pieces right here with the 3 bolts are the actual hold down points. There's 20 hold down points for Super Heavy because it's heavy. It needs a lot of hold down points. It's right in the name. Okay. There's a thrust vector control checkout. I don't think we've ever seen that footage before. There's the electric thrust vector control system. Oh, dude, that's sick. Isn't all that FOD isn't a problem? Well, this was clearly ruinous. This design is clearly enough to get SpaceX to say no. For the next design, they're not doing something like this. It's one vent that goes into the booster that feeds into a manifold in the booster that goes to the 20 outer boosters, 20 outer engines. These are Raptor 2s. Yes. Yeah, Raptor 2s. Have we ever seen Raptor 117 before? And how it has a Spartan helmet on it? Have we seen that? Have we seen that before? Oh, I don't think I've ever noticed that before. That is pretty cool. I like SpaceX even more now. Yep. Wish I could see the internals of those Raptors. The only way you're doing that is by working there, dude. Bro, dude, Raptor 117 has a Spartan helmet on it. Yes! Yes! It's sweet, dude. All right. Yeah, nice segue. I didn't even notice that, man. That's awesome. There's the super heavy static fire. I don't know which one that is. There's cyber truck pulling cyber Vector. Yeah, who knows where Raptor 117 is? Probably lost in space. Is there a leaf on the 420? I don't know. That's your goal. Well, it's the only way you're ever going to do it. That's dragon separation. That's V-bar alignment maneuver for the ISS. Basically getting lined up for the ISS docking port. And that's the view from the ISS at the same time. That's flight 3. That's flight 3. You could tell because the world is on the wrong side. Time's to launch tomorrow. 4 Central. Geek, so 5 Eastern. Oh, man. This is definitely flight 5. Judging by the amount of ablation going on here. Or no aluminum tiles. Flight 4. It's flight 4. That's the one that punched, where the hole punched through the wing. Oh, cool. Telemetry. That's what telemetry looks like, dudes. For just a bunch of different stuff. It kind of is like a moving line graph. Yep. Launch soon. We are about 23 hours away. 23 hours and 7 minutes, technically. Did Raptor 42 have stencil art? I'm not sure. Master Chief, you mind telling me what the heck you're doing on that booster? Sir, launching this rocket. Just one question. What if you miss the catch tower? I won't. Will you be getting sleep? Yes, this space news is going to be short. Of course, because I need to go to sleep, because I need to get up at 4 in the morning to be ready at 4:30 for an NSF cast that starts at 5. I'm hosting the NSF stream for 5 hours straight. And then it stops. I stop at 11, I think. Yeah, I stop at 11, and then I'm going to start up. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then I'll start up my stream at the regular start time. And yeah, we'll just Starship coverage, all of it. And then after Starship coverage, I don't know. We'll see where the caffeine takes us from there. Have we seen anything about the Raptor 3 since testing at McGregor? No, not much. That's awesome. That's pretty cool, man. That's a pretty cool hype vid from SpaceX. Tell us about Raptor engines. Full flow stage combustion. They're game changer. Big game changer in rocket propulsion. Not like, sci-fi levels of like game changing, but it's definitely, Raptor engines are definitely represent kind of the next logical step for engine propulsion. With Raptors, with a full flow stage combustion cycle, you can make engines that are very, very efficient, and you can make engines that are very, very powerful. Ordon, you're off tomorrow. You'll be tuning in. Tomorrow's going to be crazy. Excitement guaranteed. That's right. How do you even iterate on Raptor 3? Yes. Yes. Have we seen any? Okay, all right. I already answered that. What do you got? I look forward to seeing them at Starbase. I know we got the testing images, but somehow I'm still skeptical of how simple they look in those photos. They just look so clean. Why? Raptor 3 looks... What's wrong with it? Like, what are you skeptical about? Guys, okay, look. I want to precurse this entire explanation with rocket propulsion is insanely difficult. It's really, 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 really difficult to get this right. With all that being said, what SpaceX really focused on from Raptor 2 to Raptor 3 is to integrate as many components into smaller subassemblies as possible. So this has all the stuff that Raptor 2 has. It's just built in to these pieces. Instead of like 6 pieces making up one thing and having all these extra pipes, all the pipes and everything and all the pieces and all the flanges and everything are integrated directly into the design. Right? That makes an engine that's easier to mass produce. However, it makes an engine that's also way more difficult to work on. Because if something does break, or if something breaks or something needs to be taken apart, it's a pain in the butt to take it apart. Why? Because all the components are internal. Think of this like an engine, okay? Here, little stroll down internal combustion engine memory lane here, okay? So, what was the first big mass-produced engine? It's the Model T Flat 4, okay? Ford, all right? So, how does this work? You have a crankshaft in there, right? And then you have a camshaft that's connected on a gear. That camshaft pushes up lifters, which pushes up valve springs. The valve springs are basically at the top of the combustion chamber, okay? And they actually open up here, and the piston goes up and down here. They're going up and down next to each other, okay? Actually, there's a good picture. See the valves? All right, so take a look. Your valve train is in the block, right? And then if you look at the side, there's a cover, there's an access cover, and you can have all the moving parts are kind of out. They're out, and you can kind of see them all over the place, right? See all the moving parts? They're just sitting. I mean, it does have a dust cover, but you get the idea. All the parts are hanging out, right? And it's all kind of one piece. Now, you fast forward here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's not really the best way to do this. Long story short, I'm thinking about my analogy. Long story short, a lot of older engines. Actually, you know what would be a better example than a Model T engine? Because a Model T engine still has covers and stuff on it. Here, I'm thinking this analogy is morphing in real time. Let me give you another example. Here, another example that probably is a little bit more applicable here. So take a look. Anybody know what this is? Anybody know what that is? It's 4014. The big boy. Look at all the parts. See all the parts? This is all the valve train actuation for your external combustion engine here, right? That is a train, sir. See how all the crankshafts and all the connecting rods and everything is hanging off the side? That's part of the reason why we don't use steam engines anymore. A diesel locomotive has all of its components inside. They're all inside of it. There's no mechanical stuff. There's no stuff hanging out on the side here where it can get all kinds of crap jammed up in it. Part of the reason why steam engines we stopped using them in favor of diesel electric in this country in the late 50s is because these things are a pain in the butt to maintain. Yeah, sure, they're more powerful. Great, they can pull more, but it's nothing compared to the diesel engine. The diesel engine has all of its components internal because they're in an engine, right? It's a lot simpler, right? Does that mean that the diesel engine isn't any more or less complicated than this? No, not necessarily. It's just all the valve train and all the components, all the moving parts are inside of an engine that's inside of the diesel. It's in a diesel engine that's inside of the locomotive, right? They took all the parts that were hanging out on the outsides and put them inside of it. That's the thing about Raptor. All those parts are still there. They're just clustered in a way that makes it look like they're not. And a lot of parts are eliminated too. They SpaceX on top of everything here were really went to town on the fluid management systems for this. So instead of a valve, right? Instead of having a valve in place that complicates the design, they have a constriction instead in places. I can't say where. In places. Let me just say places, and we'll go from there. So, like, say you needed a different flow rate, right? You needed to flow 100,000 pounds of fuel a minute, right? And your feed up until that point is 200,000 pounds a minute, right? It'll just constrict it, or it'll open it up to decrease flow rate. There's a fluid management system that's built, that's integrated, that's hard coded, I guess, to use software. Use a software analogy, it's hard coded into the design. That's what makes Raptor so good. It doesn't do anything more or less than a Raptor 2. Actually, it is a little bit more powerful. There were optimizations, but the whole point is that from a better fluid management system and integrated all your parts, taking all the stuff that's hanging off the side of the engine and putting it inside and integrating it directly into the components. See how whatever these things are, they're stuck onto the casting. It's one casting. See what I'm talking about? All of it's kind of stuck together, right? All the components are inside, just like the steam engine. Just like engines back in the day had a lot of parts just hanging out, like the rocker arms on an old engine would be just exposed, right? Which is not, no, that's not how that works at all, right? Nowadays, engines are all covered up. All the moving parts are inside. You know, just like a diesel locomotive. Does that make sense? I'm the master of the mechanical stop! Right? When you get a chance, check your DMs. This better be on topic, Bandit, or you're getting slapped. I only have a certain amount of time today. Oh. It ain't on topic, but it's relevant. No slap for you. Oh, jeez. This is the new Cleater video. No. Yeah, who's that? Who's that guy? Oh, jeez. Oh. Okay. Thank you, Bandit. That's funny, dude. Oh boy, I wonder who that is. Yeah, I told you I was there. There's your evidence. Hell yeah, brother. How's that lame mullets, man? It was awesome, dude. It was so good. Where's Joey Blue Skies? Sitting down right next to me. Yeah. I forget who took that footage. I saw somebody going by with a cell phone and I stood up and went, woohoo, you know. Yeah, see, that's me over there. Damn Cleater shirt on. Yep. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, the Healed Smug Grid. I was like, yeah, what up?
Discovery, go and throttle.
Thanks, Bandit. Thanks for linking that up. George took that video? Yeah. Yeah, all right, right on. Yeah, that's from Cleater's new video, dude. I'm telling you, man. That's the big leagues down there. It was really cool to see, like, okay, here. The only, like, let me put it to you like this, guys. Real on a quick side note. What I mean by the big leagues, like, you know, I go to TwitchCon and stuff, and I don't, you know, you hang around with other streamers that are kind of as big as you, right? Like, when you go to cons and stuff, you really hang around with people that are kind of at the same level. Like, I wouldn't go hang around with, like, Summit or something, because I don't know Summit. Like, there's no point to come and talk to me about anything, right? With that being said, I did just kind of walk up to him and say hi one time, but, That, I mean, because I don't care. I don't get flustered by other streamers, but I do get flustered from YouTubers. But either way, like, you know, you don't really get to see, like, you know, the fruits of like having like a 1 million subscriber YouTube channel or something, or I don't really get to see like a you know, like my view of streamers that make tons of money is the same as yours. It's not like I hang out with these people, right? What's Cletus building these days? Haven't watched him in a couple of years. He owns that racetrack that we were at, Phoenix. Yeah, he owns the racetrack, dude. He has a 69 Camaro full tube chassis car called Eagle, and it goes fast, man. Yeah, also he bought an airport and a drag strip. That's what I mean about seeing the end goal of like content creation, like where it could go. Like this, like I'm not saying we're gonna buy like an airport or something. Like, I don't know, maybe if you guys wanted me to and supported that endeavor financially, I'd seriously consider it. You know? Past 2 to 3 years I've watched, you've convinced my regular visit. Well, there you go. It's cool to see, like, I got to meet Cleater, I got to meet Vice Grip, I got to meet a bunch of them. You know, I just walked up and said hi. Like, I got flustered from Vice Grip. I didn't say anything useful to Derek. Like, I was just like, I'll be dipped. It's Vice Grip. What's going on, man? Like, he's like, hey, and I'm like, hey, you know, I didn't say anything of use. I'm pretty sure Derek thinks I'm a psycho at this point. Like, you know, that's fine. Hi, Kevin, you know, like, it's almost like going to a popular streamer's house and hanging out. Yeah, Geek. Yeah, I get you. You don't see the fruits, but Vice Grip has to be down to earth. Yeah. Vice Grip, Derek is, as far as I can tell, you know, me fanboying completely aside, he is exactly the same as he is off camera as on. Yeah, exactly the same. What you see is what you get. As I went up and talked to him, like, once again, I just said, you're the freaking man. Thank you for everything that you do, blah, blah, blah. And then Brimo's dad took over because I'm sitting there going, you're awesome, you know, like, yeah, Derek's good people, from what I can tell, SPD. I mean, I've been watching Vice Grip since 2020. The original Independence episode was the first Vice Grip that I ever watched. Yeah, I've been watching Derek for a long time. And I've been watching Cleater even longer than that. I watched Cleater when he was putting whistles in the exhaust of his Corvette. Yeah. When him and Coop and Jackstan just put random cars on the dyno and just sprayed nitrous into the intake. It's still funny, dude. But yeah. Vice Grip's good people. Like, I didn't talk to him very much, like, but yeah, he seemed exactly the same. He was cracking nutty jokes and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. They still do that. Yep, full pull, bog deep. Yeah, exactly. I did get to talk to Cleater. I had a good conversation with him for a little while. I saw him in the parking lot. I was just like, oh, what's up, man? So, bog deep. Who remembers Bog Deep? And Bartle Skeet. Yeah, I don't see that much anymore, right? Like, that's when I started watching Cleater, dude. I've been watching for a long time. But anyway, it's cool to see the fruits of that labor. Like, that's where, I don't want to say that, I don't know if the Twitch stream will ever get there, but, you know, you never say never either, right? Like, that's the fruits of labor. Like, if you play your cards right, this is the end game. This is what you could have. And I'm like, I just basically use that to basically convince myself that I don't work hard enough on this job. I don't work hard enough at this job. I need to put more time in. But strategically put more time in, you know? Yeah. So, it's cool. It was really cool to see. Cooper's wet shots were always entertaining. Yes, exactly. Yes. Cooper wet shot. I remember that. That was funny, dude. Yeah, when they were in Faster Problems shop, just abusing that dyno, which was pretty funny. Yeah, Chrome Viper. Yeah, no, I'm like, dude, I gotta step up my game. We gotta do crazier stuff. Like, building the cool projects in the games is fun, but we gotta elevate. We gotta elevate. We gotta figure out crazier stuff to do. Stuff that's gonna get, more folks watching, So, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Whatever we do is not gonna be a cheap, like, gimmick or whatever. I want to do cool stuff. I just got to figure out where I want to spend my time. But yeah, it was really cool seeing the end game of that. Like, Cleater has a racetrack. He has a stake in the drag strip. He's staking like auto parts companies, dude. He owns a freaking airport. Like, that's so cool. Yeah. Yeah, Bandit. I saw Consuela, dude. I saw Consuela up close. Beautiful, beautiful aircraft. Well, helicraft. But yeah, that's man, that's what it, dude. We could be there. Why couldn't we? We could get there. Why couldn't we get to that point? I think we could get to that point. We should get to that point, dude. And if that means like spending more time to work on some YouTube videos here and there, I don't have a problem with that. If you guys don't have a problem with that, like. Speaking of aircraft, isn't Flight Sim 24 tomorrow? Yeah, I don't care. Starship's launching tomorrow, dude. That doesn't... Whatever. At the minimum, we could get you on a Space Tours flight. Yeah, that'd be neat. Let's be real, BA. If you guys raise 300K, I'd probably spend that on my mortgage. Yeah. Probably put that towards the mortgage, man. Not gonna lie to you. I'd probably put it towards the mortgage. Anyway, or the student loans. That'd pay off the student loans and then some. Don't say that, man. Look, all I'm saying, man, is okay, hear me out. All right. If you guys raise 300 grand for the stream, I'd use it to axe my student loans and take out a significant chunk of my mortgage. Now, hear me out. If I did that, I would have a lot on the day-to-day. I would have a lot more cash. We'd have a lot more liquidity. Okay? We'd have a lot more liquidity. And with that liquidity, we could do fun stuff that involves fire in a safe and legal manner. Anyway, back to engines. Modern engines are so tightly packed into the car now, they're more time consuming to maintain than old steam engines. Yes, Tessa, and that's the whole thing with Raptor. Yep. Hey, Hashtavakra, thank you for the 3 subs. I appreciate that. God, work with us. You could go to space. When I free up more liquidity, I can start my own company, fly myself into space, BA. What do you think I'm trying to tell you? God, read the freaking room or the control room. Ash is fine. All right, cool. Thank you for the 3. Ash, I appreciate it. This thought was on Countdown to Launch. Today, there may be a countdown hold so it launches at 4:20 Central Time. Alex also noted that Starship launch tomorrow would be SpaceX's 420th launch. Here's to the EJSA for real. That's what I'm saying, Wiz. That's what I'm saying, dude. Stupid. He would do it. He would do it. Listen, you got great ideas. I propose we bring back Ares 1 as our first launcher and the Saturn V as our heavy lift launcher. Trey, you got $40 billion lying around? Because that's how much that's going to cost. If you got 40 billion lying around and 10 years of your time, then yeah, I'm pretty sure I could facilitate a lunar program with that amount of cash. Sure. Oh, just one. Yeah, just one. If you got a Twitter's worth of money, if you got a Twitter's worth of money, then we could probably make that happen. Also, you should borrow a DASA 60-pound tracker for your spaceflight activities. Why not just tell, if we're launching our own rockets, I'm just going to go to DASA and be like, yo, I got a rocket launch for you to cover, man. You would buy cars with the other half, don't lie. Why not both? We can raise capital using Ares 1. Not a bad idea. There are some big funds up for grabs in the UK for aerospace innovations, just saying. That's actually a good time to pivot into this next bit of space news, guys. So check this out. This is coming from Dan Pymont. He's the founder and president of ABL Space Systems. This is actually some pretty pertinent news to the commercial market and something that I wanted to touch base on with you guys because we only have a finite amount of time here. This was posted a couple of days ago. It was on the 14th, so it was 4 days ago. Check this out. So Dan Pymont. Today we're announcing major changes to our mission at ABL. We are stepping away from the commercial launch market and focusing our efforts on missile defense. Commercial launch. Over the past 6 years, we've developed an orbital rocket with unique traits. It can be packed into shipping containers, set up anywhere, and launched quickly with a small team. Things like this have been done before, but not at such a large scale. RS-1 is 6 feet in diameter, 100 feet long, weighs 150,000 pounds, and can lift thousands of pounds of material into orbit. Hey, Redbeard. Our pursuit of this mission created strong technological building blocks. We've designed a novel rocket engine, modern avionics systems, flight software, control algorithms, and the hefty ground equipment required to operate it all. We set up 3 test sites, 2 factories, and a launch site in 3 different states. We built dozens of engines, printing and cutting the piece parts, assembling, hot fire testing, integrating to boosters, ground testing, and then flying them. We set up development verification and released the pipelines for software and simulations of many types. We shaked and baked the hell out of valves, actuators, computers, and more to certify and license the rocket. We did deep analysis and bench testing to assess nuanced risk that popped up during operations. Baked. Our team conducted 2 extended flight test campaigns working around the clock in all 4 seasons in Alaska. There's seasons there? I thought it's just cold all the time. No, I know it gets hot in Alaska. It was a joke. These demanding operations stressed and matured our systems, with each success and failure advancing our technological readiness. From a personal perspective, if you've never been part of something like that, it can be difficult to understand the magnitude. Physically taxing operations happen at all hours across many sites. Seemingly insurmountable problems arise every week and are overcome. The accomplishments of the RS-1 program from the individual level to the company level have been unbelievable. I think that there's no other challenge comparable to building a new rocket with a small team. I have a tremendous amount of respect for our group and every other group that has taken this task on. However, over the past few years, we've seen our ability to make a meaningful impact on the launch industry diminish. Take a look around. U.S. rockets fly every couple of days. U.S. rockets fly every couple of days with perfect success. It's revolutionary. While there's still a need for more providers in certain market segments, those opportunities are decreasing. To succeed in such a demanding effort as scaling up an orbital launch program, you need deep motivation around you and your mission and potential impact from many stakeholders. As the launch market matured, these motivations thinned, and our path to making a big contribution as a commercial launch company narrowed considerably. Missile defense. At the same time, we've seen the world change in ways that demanded our attention as rocket designers. In 2022, while ABL mobilized for our first flight campaign, Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine and used long-range missiles to target civilians. China began ramping China began a rapid buildup of nuclear ICBMs while ramping up aggression in the Indo-Pacific. North Korea tested new, larger missiles while sending soldiers to the Russian front. And Iran launched massive barrages against Israel, depleting defensive systems. We began working with folks in the U.S. government who are responsible for responding to these threats. We came to understand that the current defense solutions are inadequate on multiple levels. They're too expensive, too slow to produce, and poorly tested against modern threats. We recognize that ABL's technology could help solve these problems by offering new capabilities with more test ranges, more frequent flights, and more creative R&D. We became convinced that to address these needs, a company would need to be singularly focused on the mission, rather than approaching it merely as an additional line of business. For that reason, we have made the decision to focus our efforts on national defense, and specifically on missile defense technologies. We'll have more to share soon on our roadmap and traction in this area. For now, suffice to say, we see considerable opportunity to leverage RS-1, GS-0, the E-2 engine, and the rest of the technology we developed to date to enable a new type of research effort around missile defense technologies. We are excited to work with anyone who's motivated by this mission. If that's you, please reach out. We have lots of work to do and are excited to embark on this new journey. That didn't have anything to do with your rocket exploding, did it? I'm pretty sure, didn't their rocket pop? Like, I'm not trying to be a complete jerk here. Missile defense is fine. If you want to pivot to that, that's fair. But I'm fairly confident RS-1 exploded on the pad twice. Twice, Pete. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It caught on fire. Yeah. Interesting. Now, I don't mind ABL going to do that. That's fine. If they're going to pivot to do that, that's all good. That's all fine and dandy. Here's the thing. This is what I mean about the commercial market. It's really easy for commercial contractors to just say, no, we don't want to do this anymore. We're going to do something different. You know what I mean? This feeds into the whole theory of that putting your whole space program, your entire space program basically resting on commercially contracted operations is not the best idea. Commercially contracted operations is the operative word there. I'll get more into that later. But, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. ABL's out. They're making missile defense systems now. So this is what I mean. We've seen a contraction in the market. Virgin Orbit's gone. ABL now gone. Who else? Who else is out? Reaction Engines folded the other day. See what I mean? This is not good. There's expansion and contraction in the commercial industry, and you have to take into account that the market is elastic, especially for launching rockets. Now, I don't know if it's clearly not for missiles, but that's another story. Relativity dropped out of the small sat launch market. That's right, Pete. That's right. Who's left? Firefly? Firefly? Rocket Lab? See what I'm talking about? This contraction, this is another contraction in the commercial industry. Not necessarily a good thing. I mean, I'm glad ABL's still around. Maybe they'll pivot back in the coming years. Who knows? Rocky, it seems I tuned in at the right time. I was laid off last week from a certain company, unable to find success, so now I can tune in during the day. Oh. Interesting. Bill, this is an interesting one. I feel like the Department of Defense wouldn't go backwards to cryogenic missiles when we have solid motor missiles sitting ready to go when the call comes. I'm guessing it's more dropping RS-1 and being a component supplier, algorithm work, and pivoting to solid rocket motors. It's possible. Is the relevant graphic a picture of Timmy's video, Creeper? If it is, I don't want to share it because that's, yeah. Astro Rocket 3 is gone. Launcher 1 is gone. ABL RS-1 is gone. Terran 1 is gone. Falcon 1, obviously, that was gone a long time ago. That just leaves Alpha and Electron. Remember, we had all these different small sat launchers. All of a sudden, look at what happened. Even a soft landing from COVID didn't prevent this. This is why you don't want to put all your eggs in the commercial basket. You're already seeing the fruits of that labor. And before anybody says, nah, it'll never happen to SpaceX, don't say that. Don't say that. Why would you leave yourself open? Starship has a lot to do with it, to be fair. Sure, but the flip side of that coin, Pete, is that we get a monopoly from a commercial contractor in space. There's Stoke, yeah. Stoke's still in the game, which is good. But see what I'm saying? You're already starting to see market contractions before the space market can really even take off. That's bad. It's not good. It's not ideal. Hopefully that changes in the future. But yeah, just interesting point with that whole ABL thing. With that being said, here, have some good news. Impulse Space shared this the other day. Look at this. Peter Beck agrees. Not sure if you saw this from another couple of days ago. Oh, here. Hold on one second. Let's see.
And in terms of Neutron, as you do start to see more other types of rockets come online, including SpaceX's Starship, I just wonder what you see this competitive landscape evolving to.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, look, I recall a conversation we probably had a few years ago about the small launch industry, and you know, there was at one point something like 100 small launch vehicles, and you know, it basically shaped out to just one. And I think you'll see a similar kind of you know, whittling down in the medium class as well. I think there's a number of medium class launch vehicles in development, but you know, getting a vehicle to the pad and then scaling it is extraordinarily hard, as we've seen. So I think you know, it's going to be a relatively condensed environment for launch, which is great for demand. But you know, I think there's a number of new interesting launch vehicles and services coming on the market. So yeah, it'll be busy times for everybody.
And whether it's from the launch standpoint or whether it's from the space system standpoint, the fact that Rocket Lab has its hands in honestly some of the most dynamic space exploration programs that we're seeing take shape right now, I wonder what you're most excited about.
Well, yeah, to your point, there's a lot to be excited about. You know, obviously Neutron opens you know, a lot up for us, especially in providing and ultimately providing services from space. But I think about, you know, some of the other programs. You know, we've talked about the national security, but you know, one that we've got our eye on is the Mars sample return. You know, it's one of NASA's most important missions, and we think we're really well placed to go after that. If you look at all the key elements, whether it's launching off a little planet with little rockets, I mean, I'm not sure who does that better than us, and through to bringing samples back to Earth. So yeah, there's a lot to be excited about, and you know, we're certainly putting our oar in the water in a lot of those really large you know, nationalistic programs.
Interesting. See, even Peter Beck knows. That's why Rocket Lab pivoted to Neutron, and they did it quick because they have to, because there's no market for small sats. Interestingly enough, there's no markets for small sats on small launch vehicles. There's no markets for small sats on small sat launchers.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
I wanted to share a part of the easiest 20 million I've ever made with you, EJ.
I'm not touching that one. Rideshare missions. Yeah. Heavy launch vehicles launching a group of small sats is where the market is trending. That's where it's going. That's why they pivoted to Neutron. And also, the market is pivoting to in-space tugs. Hey, Impulse Space. Also, he dropped some info on their Venus mission. Will fly on Neutron. It will be based on one of their bigger busts, so more science. Cool. So Impulse posted this over the weekend as well. Of course, no, I wasn't here. Introducing Deneb, a powerful hydrocarbon engine designed for unmatched performance. Deneb's oxygen-rich staged combustion cycle combined with a high area ratio expansion nozzle will deliver 15,000 pounds of thrust, setting it up to be the highest performing liquid oxygen, liquid methane engines ever flown, per its creator Tom Mueller. Tom Mueller designed the Merlin 1D, Falcon 9's engine, and the Kestrel engine, and the Draco engine, and the Super Draco engine. He designed all of those. And he started his own company. He left SpaceX and started his own company. This is what he's working on now, I guess. Designed for reliability and manufactured with lean, scalable approach, Deneb is built with ABL Space's proprietary in-house components. From precision valves to advanced turbo machinery, Impulse is now nearing the first test of our development engine. This engine will power Helios, our solution for delivering payloads from low Earth orbit to geostationary in under a day. No more waiting months with electric propulsion. Pair Helios with a low-cost, low Earth orbit launch. Pair Helios with a low-cost, low Earth orbit launch, and you've got the fastest, most economical way to reach high-energy orbits in the inner solar system. And it has an area ratio of 385. It'll be the highest performing hydrocarbon-fueled rocket engine to fly. Area ratio, 385. That's, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, it's got, the area ratio is a really nice way of saying it's got a big nozzle. Yeah. Interesting. And Impulse has also posted, see that? They're looking at basically making in space tugs here. with the Deneb engine, right? And they actually posted pictures of them working on their bulkheads the other day. Oh, hello. That's Tom Mueller over there. I like big nozzles and I cannot lie. Yeah. Yeah, see, there's one of their bulkheads right there, too. Ooh, COPVs. Look at that. Look at those bottles, chat. Those are some nice bottles right there. 1.4 meter long carbon ceramic nozzle per Tom. That's big for such a small motor. When did Impulse start? It started when Tom left SpaceX a couple of years ago. Actually, it was very recent on a space timeline. Yeah, Tom's cool. He also races cars. Yeah. Okay. I was going to see if I can just find a picture of some of the cars he owns, like that C7R right there. Oh. You see that car? That car goes fast. It always comes back to cars here. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Tom likes going fast. He likes things that go fast. I like things that go fast. So, naturally, you know. Yeah, he posted a picture of his driveway a little while ago. He's got a pretty respectable car collection, man. Let me just say it's better than my car collection. My car collection looks like a junkyard. His looks like an auto show. mine, all my cars, thanks to he says, look like a junkyard. You know, it's good. Better would go faster with the Deneb engine attached to it. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. But yours has charm. Yes. Yes, that's what you call that. Yeah. 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 Sure. Anyway, moving on. Next bit of news here. Sierra Space and Oak Ridge National Laboratory, are collaborating on a groundbreaking new technology that will enable exterior spacecraft tiles to withstand high temperatures of re-entering Earth's atmosphere over multiple missions. Ooh. Sierra Space and the Department of Energy's Oak Ridge National Laboratory are revolutionizing thermal protection for a new generation of commercial space transportation vehicles. Oh. How many of his cars have been driven clear across the country with losing a wheel along the way? 0 is the answer to that. Okay. You're near there. I know the guy working on it. It's in the material science building. Nice, Trey. There you go. Sierra Space, a leading commercial space company in defense tech prime, is building a platform in space to benefit life on Earth. Is that your whole that whole thing is copyrighted? Sierra Space, a leading commercial space company in defense tech prime that is building a platform in space to benefit life on Earth, announced today that a groundbreaking new technology in collaboration with the U.S. Department of Energy's Oak Ridge National Laboratory. The breakthrough development enables exterior spacecraft type. Dude, I'm sorry. This is like Borat. Cultural learnings for make benefit glorious nation of Kazakhstan. Borat the movie. Watcher, you'll be execute. Sorry. The breakthrough development enables exterior spacecraft tiles that will withstand the high temperatures of re-entering Earth's atmosphere over multiple frequent missions. Yes. This new thermal protection system, TPS, was created to meet the needs of a commercial space industry that is moving at a faster pace than previous generations of spaceflight and now requires more missions over shorter periods of time. So, guys, I'm going to rename the channel. The new channel is going to be EJSA, the Eric Johnson Space Administration, that streams a lot and teaches you a lot about space flight so you learn something when you're trying to look up brain rot on the internet. Copyright. It's a good name. We should stick with it. Yeah. So about those TPS reports. Anyway. Don't forget the copyright. Yeah, pass it. Yeah, pass it. You gotta have the copyright, man. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, no, you gotta. Rolls right off the tongue. Yeah, no, it's a good idea. Don't forget the square hole. Yeah, we also teach you about the square hole copyright. Don't you mean trademark, not copyright? Sure. Anyway, the team at Sierra Space in Oak Ridge leveraged more than 3 decades of experience with NASA's space shuttle program to design the new system. In the past, exterior tiles used on the shuttle were only needed for an average of 5 missions per year. As we enter the second quarter of the 21st century, I don't like saying that like that, but as we enter in the time frame of 2025 to 2050, copyright trademark, ! Hashtag X-Wing Adeliciousness. Increased launch frequency means that heat protection designs for spacecraft must be stronger. Sierra Space's Dream Chaser spaceplane, for instance, is built for a minimum of 15 missions and is contracted with NASA for space station resupply missions with a 9-month reprocessing time. EJSA, where Sigma's slogans are born. Scooby-Doo, toilet, Idaho, France, no hat. Today marks a new era of spaceflight safety technology, and it's going to enable travel to low Earth orbit that will eventually rival the frequency of commercial air travel, said Sierra Space CEO Tom Weiss. Our patent-pending thermal protection system is like nothing ever before created and essential to a near future where space travel becomes routine. Reusability of space vehicles is a key factor in expanding the commercial space industry, and to do that, we need new technology to keep spacecraft and crews safe. Yeah, passing. If you could, if Sierra Space could just do us all a favor and never talk like, never say that, never say that like that ever again. Yeah, that would be great. Just don't ever call it the second quarter of the 21st century, alluding to the fact that we're already a quarter away through this century. Please stop. Don't ever do that again. Cool. The thermal protection system tiles are made up of a proprietary composite material that's as strong as carbon fiber, but with the added high temperature sustainability of ceramic materials. Composite tiles have low density thermal protection properties that are vital for insulative protection and stable flight dynamics. Atmospheric reentry exposes the spacecraft to speeds of more than Mach 17, about 13,000 miles an hour or 21,000 kilometers an hour, with temperatures reaching higher than 3,100 Fahrenheit or 1,700 Celsius. Okay. Every kid when they were growing up dreams of being involved in spaceflight in one way or another, said Greg Larson, ORNL's group leader for extreme material environment processes. To make a newer material technology that has the potential to go to space over and over while advancing the U.S. space program is a real thrill. This is a great example of ORNL's focus on collaborating with industry by applying our deep materials development expertise to real-world industry challenges. It's Mach 25, 17,500 miles an hour, 27,000 kilometers an hour. I don't know where they're getting that number from. I don't know what planet they're orbiting around, but that will not get you anywhere near orbital around Earth. I'm just putting it out there. That maybe is good enough for an orbit around Mars, maybe. Okay. Like, seriously, where are you getting Mach 17 from? The temperature, the interesting part is that the temperatures are right. Those are typically the temperatures encountered from reentry. Mach 17, 13,000 miles an hour is suborbital. There is no orbital trajectory with that orbital speed that's anywhere near low Earth orbit. Mach 17 is the speed of more than 13,000 miles an hour. It's part of the high hypersonic regime, which includes speeds of Mach 10 to 25. Yeah, Hired. You don't need to explain the hypersonic regime to me. It's just this is. Yeah, it's a lot more than that. Anyway, unless I'm completely missing something in this article, which I'm not sure. Sierra Space and Oak Ridge National Laboratory have completed the first development phase of the patent-pending thermal protection system. The next phase includes more testing, which includes subjecting these tiles to testing at NASA's ArcJet plasma facility, which simulates the conditions of re-entry to Earth from space with heated gas flow. Yep, ArcJets are one of the only ways you can test re-entry on the ground. But even then, the ArcJet is very, very small. You're not gonna be able to throw like an entire space shuttle in there. The second phase also explores using advanced manufacturing techniques to lower the cost of TPS production. The new thermal protection system is planned to be used on Sierra Space's Dream Chaser moving forward, including the second Dream Chaser called Reverence, which is currently in production at the company's Dream Factory in Colorado. Okay. Cool. Well, they're looking to ramp up tile production, which is actually super cool, and they're working with Oak Ridge to do it. That's actually super neat. I mean, some of those numbers and some of those things were a little weird, patent pending. So who has better tile tech, SpaceX or Sierra? I would say the tiles that fly are probably better tile tech at this point. you know, considering what's happening tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Just putting it out there. Cultural learnings for make benefit glorious nation of Kazakhstan, trademark. So that's cool. That's cool that they're working with Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge does material science usually in the application of like nuclear, nuclear reactors and stuff like that, which is actually, I mean, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's funny because they're like, oh, we're trying to do this new. SpaceX has been doing that for about 5 years, what they're doing, and they didn't need Oak Ridge to do it. Have you covered Dawn Aerospace's recent news? I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. What is this? Transit van. Yeah, we've seen this before, dude. This is the 60,000 feet in like 2 minutes. It's pretty impressive. That's not easy to do. That's super cool. It's a little subscale demonstrator, guys, but still awesome.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
On the morning of the 12th of November, 2024, the Mark II Aurora flew supersonic for the first time, in an 85 degree climb, reaching a maximum of speed of Mach 1.1 and an altitude of 82,500 feet, making it the first civil aircraft to fly supersonic since. In this flight, Aurora also set a global record, becoming the fastest aircraft to climb from ground level to 20-kilometer altitude, completing the ascent in just 118.6 seconds. 4.2 seconds faster than the previous record set in the 1970s by a highly modified F-15 Eagle. What's more is Aurora flew again just 6 hours later. The milestone sets the stage for Aurora to become the world's highest and fastest flying aircraft and paves the way for first operational hypersonic aircraft, redefining what's possible in aviation. Did they just compare that to an F-15 and Concorde? Aren't there already golf streams that go Mach 1.3? Did you ask that in Twitch and then asked it in YouTube, Tessa? Did you go back and forth like between the chats and ask the same question? Can you do me a favor? Don't do that, please. Like, you do me a solid and just don't do that. They just need to convince investors for cash. Yeah. It's the new evolution of last, please. Look, here's the thing, fellas. I'm not trying to downplay what they're doing here. This is really impressive stuff. You know, call me a complete jackwagon here. Comparing this subscale model airplane to Concorde is a little... Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool. It's very cool. This thing is super neat, but I wouldn't be like, well, it's fast. It's plane to go faster than Concorde. You know, it goes faster than Concorde. Like, okay, yeah, that's cool. How about you don't make that claim until like someone's on board or something? Like, the Concorde was a little bit crazier. I mean, they did say it was a commercially registered aircraft, marking the first civilian aircraft to fly supersonic since Concorde. I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure, like, Rook Isaacman, like Jared Isaacman, has a civil registered aircraft that goes faster than Mach 1. I'm pretty sure, and that's one example off the top of my head. If you know like anything about planes, you know that that's not true at all. But see, here's the thing. That's like blatantly wrong. But also at the same time, that doesn't diminish what this is. This is actually a really awesome piece of equipment. It's super cool.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
It's an RC airplane that can break the sound barrier. That's not stupid. I think that's super neat. But also, you don't need to like upplay it by saying, "Oh yeah, it goes faster than the Concorde." Like, no. Stop doing that. No civil designs, though. Schmoog, hey, 116-month resub. Thank you. But that's not what they said, Jock, is it? First civil aircraft to fly supersonic since the Concorde. They never said it goes faster than the Concorde. Yeah. Never mind. That's a lot of hype. And that's some big shoes to fill. So, obviously, they take themselves pretty seriously. We'll see in good time. Make something that someone can fly in, and then maybe make that claim. That's a little hasty. Just putting it out there. A little hasty to make that kind of claim. There's one notable thing about them, though. They're already profitable with their hardware business, hence the second link. Yep. The second link that I didn't click on. Either way, still cool. Like, I'm not trying to downplay it, but what I don't like is... Okay. Let me explain. Why don't I like this? No, it's not just about they're lying. No. If you're going to have hyperbole in your sales pitch as a commercial provider for future spaceflight technology, you better be very straightforward about what you're saying and what you're doing. If you throw in a lot of fluff to investors, right, and you are not able to scale to that, you will run out of money. And that is bad for the commercial industry. If you overpromise and underdeliver, that's bad. That's bad, so I call out this behavior whenever I see it. Don't do stuff like this. That's bad for the industry. Yeah, great. You got some investor money. What happens when you can't deliver? If you're an investor and you invest in Dawn Aerospace and you see that, oh, it's the fastest thing to fly since Concorde, right? And you see something like that, you're going to have expectations. And when they don't deliver on that expectations, you're going to pull your funding. That's why I don't like hyperbole in the aerospace industry. You guys always say, like, I always point this stuff out, and people in the chat are like, yeah, well, EJ, they're just trying to get money. They're just trying. Yes, I understand that. If you get money based off of a lie or a stretch of the truth and then under-deliver, that's bad. Eventually, investors, venture capitalists and investors will invest less because they think you're full of crap. And that could potentially lead to less capital being invested into the commercial space industry. That's bad. This is bad. You do not want this as a spaceflight fan. This is why this bothers the hell out of me. I can tell you from experience, Pete, what are you saying? I tell you from experience, there are probably a lot of people at Dawn that cringed when marketing put that out. Marketing is going to do marketing things. No. I mean, yes, Pete, but no, you don't. This one struck a nerve with your old boy here, your old streamer man. The Bechtel experience. Good point. Anyway, here's the second link. You don't want to do stuff like this. Like, it's cool. What Dawn is doing is awesome, and I'm cheering them on every step of the way. Don't do this crap. Don't do this. This is dumb. This is dumb, and you will end up bankrupt if you don't deliver on this promise now. If somebody invests with the premise based off what they see here, yeah, no, that's stupid. That you're gonna end up bankrupt. Look at reaction engines, guys. They went bankrupt because they promised Skylon and then they didn't deliver it, and then they went belly up because they ended up making radiators for a Formula One car. Oops. Anyway. Okay, off topic, but we need you to identify something on Starbase Live. What do you want from me? What do you want, Ben? What's up? Like, look, I'm calling out that behavior because that's bad for what the hell is that? That's bad behavior for the commercial industry. Don't do that. Don't overpromise like that. You're going to end up bankrupt. This is a cutthroat industry, and it's contracting. Don't do stuff like that. Anyway, what are we looking at here? Oh, it's a hovercraft. That's the Ben, you're talking about this thing? That's the hovercraft that SpaceX uses to move people from South Padre Island to Boca Chica. Yeah, they have a shuttle service from SPI. It's a hovercraft. And they called it the Razor Crest. Hell yeah, dude. They called it the Razor Crest. Awesome, dude. It's not a hydrofoil. It's a hovercraft, dude. Yeah, there is a Starlink antenna on the top. It's called the Razor. The Razor Crest is the name of the ship from Mandalorian. Actually, fun fact, SpaceX has 2 of them. Here, I'll show you. Is it going autonomously? No. It's not going autonomously.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Oh, hello. Oh, with the curtains? No, not the curtains. It's registered as a boat. Technically, it is. So those things those things bug out over here. See? SpaceX has a hovercraft port right there. It looks like the drone ship. And they shoot the hovercrafts across the wetlands. There's 2 of them. And hovercrafts can go on water. They're amphibious, so they can go on whatever. And they go over to South Padre Island. I don't know where they dock over here. My guess is probably something protected like that or whatever. But they'd need kind of a ramp or something. Is there a ramp over here? Yeah, there's a boat ramp right there. There you go. Yeah, that's, you know, if you work for SpaceX, you live over here on SPI or something. Or Port Isabel, wherever. It's a hovercraft. It doesn't need a dock. Yeah, you know, you say that, Hellfish, but there's this whole thing that needs to happen with the thing that's on board the thing. The people need to get off somewhere. They need some type of port. What do you think of the SpaceX crane paint schemes? You in favor of the Libre 11,000 white and black color scheme? I like it, Graham. Yeah, that's cool. The Skittles crane was a good time, though. In Battlefield 2042, I saw those things crawl up skyscrapers. Battlefield 2042. 2142. I remember that game. Titan mode on Battlefield 2142 was actually amazing.
Go and throttle up.
Actually amazing, by the way. Is it 2042 or 20? Whatever. That game was sick. It's been easily over a decade since I played it. Give me 1 second. 2042 came out in 2021. 2042 is a newer game. Why would 2040? So there's a Battlefield 1942, and then there's 2142, and then 2042 came out later. I'm talking about 2142. I don't know what the hell 2042 is. I didn't even know that existed until about 20 seconds ago. Titan mode, what I'm saying, Titan mode on 2142 was amazing, Graph Shark. Nobody's ever done anything like that. But we have Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 6 or something. The Skittles crane. Yeah, the crane that they used to first put together the tower. It was a Libre 13,000 with a power boom on it. The analogous crane that made the second tower at Starbase, guys, was a CC8800. Differences. CC8800s are cool. I like the Libre 13,000 personally, with power boom attachment, obviously. The OG 1942. Didn't we get to drive the aircraft carrier on island maps to wherever we wanted, or was that a BF2 thing? No, in Battlefield 2, the aircraft carrier was static. You couldn't move it. You could drive the carriers around in 1942, Grav. 2042 has this. What Nice MD-500. It's an OH-6, I know. It's not an MD-500. Oh yeah, this crock of... You'd be dead. Okay, so just put Starbase Lab back up there. What's this next article? Dawn Aerospace powers moon data relay satellites. Cool. Dawn Aerospace, a global leader in green satellite propulsion, is excited to announce its role in providing propulsion modules for 2 Luna data relay satellites, in which Blue Canyon Technologies will design the microsatellite buses and integrate the communications payloads. The 2 Venus-class microsatellite buses are developed by Blue Canyon Technologies, a subsidiary of Raytheon. Dawn is working closely with BCT to realize a highly capable reaction control system to give response and precise maneuvering capability using green propellants. See, that's cool. This is cool. That's a good idea. These satellites will play a critical role in enabling communication to a lunar lander relaying data from Earth to the lunar surface. Deep space advantage for nitrous-based propulsion. It is well understood that traditional chemical propellants such as hydrazine require substantial thermal management to stop propellant from freezing in deep space. Yes and no. While this is well understood, it can drive satellite design sustainability and is a risk should heaters fail, even if only temporarily. Nitrous and propylene propellants have extremely low freezing points, -90 and -185. -90°C and 185°C lower than hydrazine respectively, which has a similar freezing point to water. This means that the satellite using nitrous propulsion can be allowed to run at much lower temperatures, and without risk of propellant freezing, saving power and complexity while maintaining high performance and low toxicity. Cool. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, green hypergalls are not the worst idea. The heating thing is kind of gimmicky, but it's more about the toxicity. Hypergolic propellants are terrible for you. If you can fuel up a satellite with a green hypergolic propellant where you can just plug the hose in and fuel it up and just fill it up, you're good to go. That's actually a super good idea. That's where the real money is to be made, with lowering processing operations with hypergolic green propellants. But you know, it has a lower freezing point, too. All right. How quickly do they break down in atmosphere? Nitrous? They said they're using nitrous. They're using nitrous oxide and propylene. It's nitrous and antifreeze. That's nitrous and antifreeze, like from cars. Yeah. I don't know if those are hypergolic. I don't think they are. Regular hypergalls, I don't know how they break down, I wouldn't be near it if it leaked, let me put it that way. I mean, granted, antifreeze is propylene glycol, but also... That's cool, Baron. Neat. Redbeard, I'm not going to be in Boca tomorrow. I'm going to make a very, very big effort to get down there for Flight 7. Right now, it's just not really a good time. Nitrous and propane, not antifreeze, aren't hypergolic. Propylene. It's not propane, it's propylene, Jock. You've accidentally huffed some at work. You work at dawn and it's good fun. You huffed some nitrous? Yeah, that it was probably pretty funny. I mean, also, that's cool. Also, Jock, make sure your marketing department doesn't do that crap again, please. Please tell them to stop. Tell them to stop doing that. That's not cool. So, propene? What is this? It's not is it propane? Well, I'm confused. I need to get my chemicals. I literally fired those thrusters. Propene and propylene are the same thing, just different names for the same chemical. Yeah, I know, just an intern. Okay, cool. So propylene is C3H6. Interesting. Okay, a little bit of a chemistry thing here. Get off the screen. CH3, CH2. Look at this little guy. So yeah, Jock, I was gonna say it does need it. It does. Yeah, these aren't hypergolic. You still need an igniter. Interestingly enough, but yeah, cool. Yeah, you guys want some an unsaturated organic compound. Who wants some organic chemistry? Yeah, you hungry? Don't eat this. Jock just said don't do that. It self-pressurizes like nitrous, so it's super simple as well. See, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's neat. This is cool. Okay. Let's see. Propylene glycol. It's a viscous colorless liquid. It's almost odorless and has a faintly sweet taste. Its chemical formula is CH3CHOH, Yeah, see? You had that glycol in there. See this? See these guys? That's propylene right there. And then you have these little guys, see? See these little guys? Don't worry about those little guys. That's antifreeze right there, for what it's worth. Propylene is different. It doesn't have this stuff. Turns out it doesn't have glycol. That's the difference between propylene and propylene glycol. One doesn't have glycol in it. I know, you're learning. I know. Interesting, Jock. Well, that's cool, man. I wish you guys all the best. This is really neat.
Throttle up.
That stuff is way longer. That's not going to go to gas as easily. So nitrous and propylene. Interesting. Nitrous is N2O, guys, in case anybody's wondering. It's laughing gas. In case you were wondering why Jock said it was funny. Yeah, laughing gas. Also, it's the go fast button that the cars in Fast and the Furious movies have. You know, the little red button on the steering wheel? That's nitrous. Yeah, you shoot that into a motor. Your motor has some fun. Fun fact. propylene glycol is food grade. Propylene glycol is antifreeze, dude. That they use that to heat buildings in Canada and stuff. Nitrous oxide has a few fun uses. Yeah, hell yeah. They may have some form of catalyst. Well, Jock was just saying they're using an igniter. That's cool, Jock. You didn't tell me you got an internship there, man. Why didn't you tell me that? That's cool, dude. Wait, if your vape juice is propylene glycol? Oh. Leggy, 6 months. Thanks, buddy. I just had that open weather guy. Yeah, see, here, look. Yeah, we were just looking at it. Not going to comment on what exactly it is, but pictures are out there where it's possible to find out if you want to play detective. I got you. I got you, man. I got you. There's plenty of ways to get an atomized mixture of nitrous and propylene to ignite. A spark plug is not the only way to do it. I got you. Oh yeah. See, I read this book a lot. Here. I find myself referencing this book a lot. Modern Engineering for Design of Liquid Propellant Rocket Engines. The more and more I read about rocket engines, the more I realize that a rocket engine is just a ridiculous Rube Goldberg project that ends up shooting gas out really, really fast. Yeah. If you're a propulsion nerd or you work in the industry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a freaking pinball machine. How it ends up in shooting those flames out the bottom is a little weird, don't you think? It's a freaking pinball machine. That's all I'm saying. Freaking pinball machine. Is that this week's book for the Flame Trench? I've had this on Flame Trench many times. Actually, David, if you want to learn about propulsion, this is an amazing book. This and rocket propulsive elements. Like, if you read about all the springs and levers involved with starting a rocket engine, at least maybe not Raptor, but like an RL-10, for instance, it's like, what the hell? This is a Rube Goldberg machine that just shoots flames. That's it. It's pretty cool, man. This is a really good book. Anyway, so yeah, cool. We delved into some organic and chemistry there. Neat. That's cool. Good for Dawn, though. I'm happy they're doing stuff. I just wish their marketing department wouldn't suck. Don't do that crap. That's bad. That's bad for the industry. Anyway, check this out. This was coming from Janie Radaba, excuse me. I'm probably not saying her name right. She posted this picture, and they had a scale replica, a half-scale replica of Dragonfly, which is the probe that NASA wants to send out to Titan? Titan. It's Titan. They definitely don't want to send it to Europa. Anyway, what Dragonfly is basically a Curiosity rover or a Perseverance rover with propellers instead of wheels. Yeah. It's on the website, Journey. Yeah, keep in mind, this is a half-scale replica. The real one is, like I said, it is a flying Perseverance rover. That's what it is. NASA's looking to send this thing to Titan sometime before the end of the decade. That's super cool. Look at that thing. Interestingly enough, it has a tail number. November 967 Delta Juliet. Interesting. It has a tail number, which means it's a registered aircraft. Interesting. Make it? Sure. Send it? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll just build it and then decide we should send like a block of metal instead. Too real? You almost Jolieted. Yeah, I did. Sorry, I just can't think of freaking Joliet Jake. Nice. Yeah, House, like I said, it's a Curiosity or a Perseverance rover with propellers instead of wheels. And yes, that big thing in the back is an RTG. This Dragonfly, if it goes, will be a nuclear-powered drone. That's pretty cool. Really, I really wish, you know, we did this. We did this more. We should send one of those to Mars and to Titan. I want a nuclear-powered drone. We all want a nuclear-powered. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want that? I want that. That'd be sick. Can we do that? Like, we can do that? Can we do that? Hello? Don't show that to the Air Force. No, Jack. You got that the wrong way around. We need to show them that. And no, you got that the wrong way around. We need to show them that because I mean, that would this be the Navy or would this be the Air Force? Yes, the Navy Force. I mean, technically it'd be Navy, but the Air Force. All right. No, we need to tell them about this. That's the point. That's what we need. We need to tell them about this so we can make some of those. Those would be pretty cool. Like, kind of useless on the battlefield, but also, bruh. Since you started to do a talk on propulsion, do you make sense of this? I do have one more bit of space. I have one more bit of space news to say. Do I make any sense of this? What the f... Yeah, I know about an MB-36 GA. I've shown it on stream multiple times. The... Interesting. So this is, so what I'm looking here is an oxygen-rich stage combustion cycle, right? But it's an open cycle. It's interesting because it's open cycle, right? So you have your fuel and oxidizer going over here, and then they have a gas generator that's being driven by a heat exchanger right here, and that is turning a turbine, and then the dump from that, which is usually fuel rich, could be oxidizer rich, but it's probably fuel rich, is being fed into an intake, and it's using the intake air and the gas generator exhaust to have a supplementary rocket engine. When I said rocket engines are like Rube Goldberg engine, this is not what I meant. But also, yeah. Yeah. You always say a gas generator engine cycle is just a jet engine strapped to a combustion chamber. I think China heard you. That's not it at all. But yeah, I mean, so this is a Carolox engine. I can tell you it's a Carolox engine for multiple reasons. Your oxidizer and your fuel impeller are on the same shaft. You're not going to be able to get away with this with hydrogen or methane. No way. That's not going to work. Just because of the RPMs that's required to feed at the right mixture. This is a Carolox engine, and like it's open cycle. It's an open cycle Carolox oxygen-rich stage combustion cycle, and the open cycle is being fed into a ramjet. I mean, if you wanted to do something like that, you could, but good luck making that light enough. Good luck on that one. Look up air-augmented rockets. Last we looked, the structure caused too much of a mass penalty to make it worth it. Interesting. I mean, guys, that's not going to really give you that much gain. It really isn't. It's not. This is not going to give you much gain. I'm not going to say why. It's not. You're not there. Engineering is always a trade-off, and that's not going to do much. Let me put it to you like that. It's for emissions. Yeah. Okay. All right. Last bit of space news here. Check this out. This is coming from NASA's Exploration Ground Systems. It's coming from EGS. Aft, and away. Exploration Ground System teams prepared the aft assemblies of the NASA SLS solid rocket boosters for transportation to the Vehicle Assembly Building at Kennedy. And NASA at Kennedy Space Center. Teams lifted the segments with one of the rotation processing and surge facilities 200-ton cranes. Yeah, the RPRSF. And placed them onto the transport pallets designed specifically for booster segment transportation. These aft segments are just one part of the 177-foot tall, 1.6 million pound, fully assembled solid rocket booster. That is the RPRSF. Yep. Yep. There it is. Starting to see parts of Artemis too, man. The RD-0120, aka the Soviet RS-25, was a single shaft, I think, that ran on hydrolox. No. Nah, I don't think so. I'm seeing two power heads there. The hell? Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. That looks like a heat exchanger, but Who knows? I'm just gonna go ahead and look at this and say that that's horribly inefficient for hydrolocks. I haven't checked the specs of an RD-0120 in forever. What's the specific impulse of this? 455. Okay, it's sea level 353. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's what yeah. Yeah. Okay. Not the worst way to do it. It doesn't look like it. Interesting. It uses a single shaft. Yeah, that's... Not sure why you'd do that way, but all right. Engine cycle diagram. That's not an RD-0120. That's an RD-180, Baron. Cheaper to manufacture. One powerhead to do this is making very complicated fuel impellers, guys. This engine was probably insanely expensive to make. I mean, look, to be fair, you could put hydrolocks on a single shaft, I guess, if you really wanted to, but, and yeah, the RD-0120 is a case example of it, but that's, yeah, there's a reason why they don't make that anymore. All that prior being said, it's time for me to go to sleep. An aero-augmented rocket engine would make more sense if it were on a rocket plane that intended to spend much longer time in atmosphere. Sure. Just checked, it's single shaft. Yeah, single shaft, all stupid. Before you go, no, I'm good. I've had enough of the shenanigans, Baron. I don't need any more shenaniganry today. Interesting. Just thinking about something else anyway. Nice, Max. That's cool. I leave you with this. I literally just got done saying I don't want to click on any more links. Like, less than 10 seconds ago. Less than 10 seconds ago. And just people...
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Anyway. What's the name of the place with the appetizers? I don't know. The restaurant, the place with the food. Even seen something from BlackRock in KSA. Yeah, Bye! Bye! I'll see you later. I'm on NSF at 5 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Bye! Bye! See you later. Bye! Why? Why you do... Oh, man. You were making me so angry. No, all right. A lot of people already left. Guys, I'm doing NSF tomorrow. I'm doing the Starbase Stakeout stream from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then I'm coming back here and we're starting at the regular start time tomorrow.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
We're starting at the regular start time tomorrow, and yeah, we're going to the Starship launch, and then that's probably going to be all. I'm not sure I have any gaming in me tomorrow after doing all that. We'll see. So I'll see you guys at 5 a.m. on NSF. NSF will be restreamed here. I can restream it. We'll restream all my coverage there, and then after that, it's just going to be me from noontime till the launch. So. Yeah, it should be awesome. We'll go from there. It should be a good day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. But since I got to get up at 4, I'm going to stop now. So I'll see you guys later. And I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. Thank you for the gifted subs, Predominant and Hokey. I appreciate it. Don't do any more. I got to go. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy.